thank you all for coming. I've called you all here for this press conference to make the announcement that Beavis and Butt-Head will soon be coming to all regions of Netflix. And I've regained complete ownership from MTV. So you can expect a brand new season to premiere alongside all the classic episodes that I know you're going to love as much as you did when you were younger. It's me. You can proceed with the final stage. Now this is a childhood classic of mine. Beavis and Butt-Head Do America. I watched this so many times when I was a kid, much to the disappointment of my mum. And I loved every second of it then, and I still think this movie is awesome to watch as an adult. For those who don't know, Beavis and Butt-Head follows the misadventures of two teenagers called Beavis and Butt-Head. They're utterly stupid and all they care about is watching TV, eating nachos, and getting laid, which they fail at all the time. The show was pretty damn funny for its time, and I won't lie, still is, but the movie, it holds up so much better. Its story revolves around Beavis and Butt-Head waking up one day to discover their TV is missing, and then they end up accidentally getting mistaken for a pair of hitmen who get sent off to kill a woman who then tricks them into smuggling a bioweapon across America. Now I know that sounds complicated, but the story is a lot simpler than it sounds, and I'm not joking. If all the scenes focusing on Beavis and Butt-Head were removed and replaced with new scenes focusing on new characters just from the movie, we would actually get a pretty decent thriller. So even though it does feel like at times two completely different movies are playing at once, it all manages to come together and work, which is surprising. And speaking of the characters from the show itself, barely any of them make an appearance for any reasonable amount of time other than, well, Beavis and Butt-Head, as well as Mr. Anderson. But all the new characters that are introduced, they're good. They're actually really enjoyable to watch, and if you watch it now as an adult, you'll actually see some really well hidden and subtle jokes mixed in with them. And the voice acting too, it feels right at home, like it would have fit right in with the characters from the show itself. And on top of that, the animation still holds up too. It looks really good. Like in HD on my big screen TV, it still looks good. But of course the real question is it still funny? Yes it is. Thankfully, it doesn't go grown-ups too on us. There's actually some intelligence and planning visible behind the scenes as the jokes are set up, and the payoff is always funny. From the scene in Mr. Anderson's camper at the end to what went on in the Catholic Church, and of course the scene where they accidentally end up tripping on peyote and experience a Rob Zombie music video from the 90s. But that does bring me to the one major flaw the movie has. If you've been paying attention, I've been giving this movie a lavish tongue bath, and that's because I love it. But I can see why some people would not enjoy it. See, to get the most out of this movie, you need to fall into one of two categories. You either need to have grown up with Beavis and Butt-Head like I did, or you need to be in the age range at the time when it aired where you could have found something funny in it. If you're someone who's in your 40s, 50s, or maybe even 60s and you watch this, there's a good chance that you're not going to like what you're seeing and are just going to dismiss the movie as something that's just silly. And that's not a fault with the movie of itself, it's just the fact that, well, it's a product of its time, and if you weren't around when it was around first, you're not really going to find that much to enjoy. But as far as nostalgia trips go, Beavis and Butt-Head Do America, it's a fine choice. If you watched it back when you were a kid and watch it now, you are going to laugh your head off, and your kids, good chance they're going to love every second of it as much as you did first time round. Sure, not everybody's going to enjoy it, just like my mum, but there is still plenty here for you to watch and enjoy.
Alright, thanks for checking out this video, I really do appreciate it, and if you feel like supporting me, then of course, subscribe. And for the next movie review, I'm going to take a look at a classic Christmas movie starring Macaulay Culkin himself. And no, it's not Home Alone, it's Home Alone 2. And for game reviews, I'm going to be capping off my free-to-play showcase with a video on Warframe, and a final video on Ironsight, a newcomer in the free-to-play market. Got all that and more coming up, so like usual, stick around.